I'll have to download it because I can't share videos from this class to that. It's fine. It's just a technical thing because they don't have permission to view things from this class. So hopefully it works. It's true. Okay. It is now 12:30. We're still missing a couple folks, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is Sarah. I'm going to let her introduce herself. She's our client for this semester. We've been talking about Katie's Kitchen. I know you guys are excited to start. As you're listening to what she talks about today, I want you to start letting your sort of ideas percolate or whatever. Big ideas, different ideas, things that relate to things that you know about, people you know about, experiences you know about. Because the purpose of this class is to give you the opportunity to work with a client and get some actual experience. But the strength of this class is that you guys come from different backgrounds and different majors. So I expect you to have sort of different people that you know, different ideas, and that's going to be kind of a cool thing as we form teams. So the way that I see this going is we'll have the presentation. You can ask questions as we go along. After the presentation, we will kind of workshop and throw some ideas around. So take notes on those. We may have more ideas than we have opportunities for teams. We're going to pick the best of the ideas and go with those. So even if you have an idea that sounds a little out there, go ahead and say it. We might be able to workshop it and shape it into something. So even if something seems a little bit off the wall, we might be able to shake it out and see if it has legs. A couple of metaphors together. So don't feel like anything is too strange or too far out there because I have sort of a mind that can do that. So take notes on ideas that you have, things that you want to possibly present to the class in a little bit of an elevator pitch sort of way. We will kind of figure out how to group those ideas together in a way that we have enough ideas for the class to split into teams and work on the ideas that sound most appealing to you, because I want to have ideas that have buy-in from the whole team. So we'll do the workshopping today, divide into teams, and then Thursday we're going to work on milestone 1. Herman, you had pointed out that the due date for that is weird. It's wrong. The due date will be the later of the 2 dates that are written down somewhere. But we're working on this on Thursday, and we will probably be done at the end of class on Thursday. Okay? So, we just got Cam. Anyone else just pop in? Looks like we're missing just 2 more. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to you. I will make them have questions for you if they don't have any. Okay. So that's my plan. Okay, go for it.
So I'm Sarah, and I want to thank you for letting me come today and talk to you all. I actually, in a previous life, I taught at the college level. I taught economics at Loyola University in Chicago, and then also at Central Michigan. But it's been a long time, so I'm a little nervous, and also I'm not sure if I can speak loudly enough with this mask on for everybody to hear me. Are we good? Okay. If not, just let me know. So anyway, thanks again for letting me come today. I'm really excited to be here. My daughter Katie has a developmental disability, pretty significant disability. More importantly, she's a people person. She likes to be productive. She likes to do stuff that she can be proud of, just like we all do. She doesn't like to do stuff that she's not good at, just like we all don't. When she was in school, she qualified for special education services. And when you qualify for special education services, you have to write down goals. like once a year, you have this meeting where you write down goals. And so one of her goals, just to kind of give you a little bit of a context for her skills, one of her goals in high school was to be able to answer like who, what, where questions. And what I felt, in my heart of hearts, what I felt was best for Katie was to have a school day that looked as much like a typical general education student's school day as possible. Again, that was my belief about what was best for Katie. Not what's best for everybody, just what was best for Katie. So, with the who, what, where questions, we were able to work it out for her to be included in a journalism class. Awesome teacher. And in journalism, when you're doing a school newspaper, you're answering who, what, where, why questions. So, we were able to work on very basic goals and basic skills in a general education context. And that was really awesome. Another thing that I asked for that I thought was kind of a typical school day thing was for her to work in the school store at high school. And what she did there was one of the things she did there was to take pre-made cookie dough and scoop it out and bake it and then package the cookies. And she had a job coach with her who kept telling me what an awesome job she was doing with that. And I never observed it. I wasn't really totally sure what was so awesome about. I mean, that doesn't sound very nice, but I never really had a picture in my mind of how that was going, but all the reports that I was getting were that she enjoyed it and that she was doing a great job with it. So when sometime after she exited school, I thought maybe we should try creating a business that involves baking, since that had gone well in high school. We live in Midland, and Midland is a really great place for people with disabilities to live in their own homes and to receive the support that they need to live in their own homes. Midland is not the greatest place for people with disabilities to go out and find employment in just an average workplace. You really don't see a lot of that in Midland. So I I want Katie to be productive. I want her days to be spent productively in ways that connect her with people. I don't really want her sitting at home watching TV. Once in a while that feels good, but day after day it's really not very healthy. So I really want her to be doing something productive, preferably that connects her with people, because she is very much a people person. So I formed an LLC, limited liability company, with the name Katie's Kitchen. And we started baking. I was wanting to be a little bit healthier than cookies, so we decided to do muffins. And we started baking muffins for work meetings and graduation parties and golf outings. And we knew a fair number of people, so we got some nice orders just from people that we knew. We really weren't doing any marketing. Not that I'm totally, never took a marketing class. I wouldn't know how to market even if I wanted to. But just from connections, family connections, we got some nice orders. And then we got to the point where we had an opportunity to sell muffins in a retail setting. So instead of baking muffins and handing them to somebody for a graduation party, now we're baking muffins and we're dropping them off, and somebody else is selling them. And when you do that, you have to be working out of a licensed kitchen. So we needed a licensed kitchen, and I happen to know about a little, very small oil and vinegar store in Midland, like olive oil store in Midland, and it has had a licensed kitchen. So I walked in one day and I approached the owner and I said, explained I'm trying to kind of develop a business for my daughter who has disabilities, and we need a licensed kitchen, and could we please use your kitchen? And she said yes. So we got started doing that, and we were plugging along. And then the gal who owned that store asked me if I'd like to buy the store. And, not something I ever really pictured myself doing, but felt like it might sort of give us more opportunities, more visibility. So I bought that store. And then less than a year later, I'm in the store one day, and the owner of a much larger store, much more better established store in Midland called Peel and Pear. It's a kitchen store. It sells, we sell kitchen gadgets and coffee makers and aprons and all that kind of stuff. Well, the owner of that store walked into my little olive oil store and said, "Hey, would you like to buy Peel and Pear?" And half of my brain said, I don't even know what I'm doing in this little store. I do not have the skills to be the owner of that great big store, and no, I can't possibly do that. The other half of my brain said, that's the best store in Midland. Yes, I would like to buy that store.
I will have that.
So we negotiated back and forth. As part of the negotiation, the previous owner is giving me all these financials, of sales and costs and profit and all that stuff. And they gave me, and one of the numbers that they gave me was the amount, the dollar value of coffee sales. Because in addition to coffee makers and towels and gadgets, Peel and Pear sells coffee beans, which we sell either whole bean or ground. And we also sell coffee to go. And he gives me this number for coffee sales, and I'm like, that cannot be right. I'm not sure if he just made a mistake or if he's lying to me, but there's no way they sell that much coffee. Well, we do sell that much coffee, which is a good thing because Katie loves coffee. So I bought Peel and Pear. There was not a licensed kitchen when I bought the store, but there was a back room, and so we reconfigured that, so we have a licensed kitchen back there. Katie comes in every day, and she makes coffee that we sell to go. She also does some errands for us at Peel and Pear. And in addition to hot coffee that we sell to go, we started making cold brew coffee. And I learned that you can go online and you can actually buy bottles like this. So we sell cold brew coffee either by the cup, or sometimes we put it in a bottle with a Katie's Cold Brew label on it. So I wanted to give you a visual, something to kind of remember what we talked about today, but I didn't want to give you an empty bottle. So
And everybody goes, and thank God.
So what I did is I filled them up with some snacks. And while I pass these out, if you have any questions that I can answer at this point. Yes?
What year did you open? Or, I'm sorry, what year did you buy it? If you don't care.
2017.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other store?
No, I closed that up and moved that inventory into Peel and Care.
That makes a lot of sense.
What else? I'm sure I've forgotten like more than I remembered. What?
I know you mentioned that there in Midland there's not a lot of places that hire kids with disabilities or young adults. Do you make it a point to do that at your store?
Well, I guess I feel like I employ Katie, and so I haven't actively tried to, haven't actively tried to hire other people with disabilities. I would certainly be open to it if the opportunity came along.
We've got two missing. So I will eat these.
Okay.
I yelled to the camera.
Any other questions? I do have one other thing that I wanted to share. I know that I feel like I should be thinking of partnerships that we might be able to pursue.
Matt, you had some ideas about this. You want to talk about those a little bit?
Yeah, so back where I'm from, I was in DECA, and there was a program where I actually worked the school store, and I had my project was helping. I came up with an idea to integrate special needs students into working in the school store. So basically have them just show them how to work cash register, clean up, and focus on that aspect of running a business. But working with that, I also was working really close with this project called Joe Brighton Cookies. So kind of similar fashion. They have like a satellite program where special needs students come into the high school a few times a week. But back at the main campus at Joe Brighton, they have a facility where they make cookies, and then basically, I helped with marketing that. So there was also points where we would set up fundraisers among school sports teams, clubs, and stuff like that to generate revenue. What else was there? There's also golf outings, how you mentioned. We did whole sponsorships and stuff like that for our local golf course. When we held some golf tournaments, there was also some other things too that I could go into detail, but I just right on the spot. I'm sorry.
So no, sorry. You should have known I would do that.
I know.
So when the students came in to help at the at the high schools, I'll ask something more specific so you can answer.
Okay.
But you did a great job.
Thank you.
So how were you part of them
so
actually cooking things?
Yes,
How
yes.
was that set up?
So there was a licensed kitchen at the Joe Brighton Center. There's 4 special needs schools in our district, and we have that satellite program that comes to the high school. So we would go over and help at Joe Brighton. They would make all the cookies there, bake them there, and then they would also package them there. And then I would help with, like, high school students that are in the marketing classes would help pick up these cookies and drop them off to all these different places. So during our class period for DECA was while we're working on the project. But.
So is Joe Brighton specifically a special needs school?
Yes.
Okay. So they're kind of equipped to kind of manage
exactly. So
several students at a time.
So for our school, so we have I think 4 or 5 other school districts that these special needs students go to. So it's just specifically a special needs school.
Okay.
So which is really cool.
So do you know? I guess I'm trying to think of like. This is difficult for me to talk about because I'm not really sure like what the words are. But so how many supervisors were there typically? Was it like 1-to-1? Was it?
No, so it was probably about like a 4-to-1, I'd say.
Okay. So I like the idea of not necessarily hiring on additional special needs individuals, but creating opportunities that are maybe more short-term, but something to do. Midland is also kind of in a spot where there's not a lot for people of certain age groups to do. Until you can drink, there's nothing to do in Midland. Or unless you're a kid that can play on the playgrounds, the super awesome playgrounds all over Midland, and if you are too old, you're climbing on them and being a bad influence. But they're like between sort of like middle school age all the way up to drinking age, there's kind of a lack of things for people to do. But I think that we could target, this is kind of me bouncing off your idea a little bit. So students of that age that are not special needs and also young adults with special needs to kind of fill both. Like
an integration of.
Yeah, like give them all something to do that's rewarding and.
Could be like a community service type thing.
Yeah,
so,
sort of like Midland Blooms is community service during the summer, but this could be something that is a little more active. Sort of like I'm friends with Kayla, who owns Meal Prep Pros. She's got empty space in the evenings, and she's like, come in and I'll teach you how to do things. Or we'll have...
Wouldn't necessarily have to hire anybody. It could just be like a...
the workshop sort of situation. Another thing, she's like, what do people want to do in the evenings? Should we have a workshop on self-defense in my building? So not that you have to follow that sort of train of thought, but the idea, I really, really like the idea of using spaces that are unused at certain times. Here's another example. A friend of mine teaches swimming lessons at a hotel during the week when the swimming pool is not being used by guests much. So I really like, it's sustainable to use unused resources during sort of their off-peak times. So that's an idea I really like. I also like using human resources, people resources, where maybe we've got an age group of people looking for rewarding things to do, because I think that people of that age are looking for things that are not destructive to do and at a loss for maybe to find anything non-destructive to do, so do destructive things. So that's just sort of my thoughts bouncing off the wall. So if that resonates with anyone and you start sort of building what that might look like, I'm not making this your project, but we're sort of starting the workshop sort of things. What other things do you have?
So just one other thing that I wanted to share is with the idea of possibly finding partnerships. There's a coffee shop in Midland called Live Oak, and it's fairly new, probably 5-6 years old. And when they first opened, I went in and took them a muffin sample and said, my daughter and I have this business, and we could bring muffins and you could sell these muffins. And they were like, thank you, we'll be in touch. Well, they were never in touch. And so a year later, I went back and I said, my daughter and I had this baking business, and we had these muffins, and here's a sample, and we'd love to bring muffins for you to sell. Nothing happened. Katie had started, not because she knew I was doing this, but she loves coffee, and she had started kind of hanging out there. And so the people who worked there got to know her. And so eventually, somehow we put it together that, Katie is the Katie of Katie's Kitchen. And, yeah, we'll sell your muffins. So we have a partnership now. They do make some of their own muffins there, so they've asked us to do scones, and so we deliver scones twice a week for them to sell. Another partnership that has crossed my mind, that I was just telling Hillary about, was at our library. There's a kitchen. Not a backroom kitchen, but like a kitchen where you go and you order something, except it was open for a few years and now it's closed, not because of COVID. I just think that just didn't have enough business or something.
It had really limited hours.
Okay.
Too, I think the times that I was there.
Okay. So, but it's a really pretty little space, and so I contacted the executive director of the library a couple weeks ago and said, hey, just wondering if you would be interested in maybe having coffee available for your library patrons. And what I'm picturing is, we make an air pot full of coffee at Peel and Pear, and we deliver it to the library, or maybe a couple of those, and we deliver those to the library in the morning, and then somehow we work it out where people just help, it's just a self-service thing, and hopefully we could use the honor system for them to pay for their coffee. I'm not exactly sure how that would work if we wanted to do that without having staff actually there. But I was saying to Hillary, I treaded very carefully because, number one, the library is dealing with COVID. And was closed for a long time. And number two, they were flooded. I don't know if you all heard about that big flood like a year and a half ago in Midland and Sanford, but the library has a basement full of water. So I'm feeling like they've got, they might not really want to take on something new right now, but I just thought, Katie loves the library. I try to go in directions where I think Katie will be on board, because it's we all want to have a job that we really enjoy doing. So it's not what I would enjoy, it's what Katie would enjoy. And I really try to, remember that's, if I don't have Katie's buy-in, she's not going to enjoy it, I'm not going to enjoy it. We just need to really, like anybody, we need to stick to what we really love. Yes.
Because she is a people person, would you ever consider her teaching a baking class?
Possibly. I like that. That's something to think about, for sure.
Yeah. So how self-directed is she in the kitchen? Is she doing all of this on her own?
No, she is not. Baking is actually, baking I think is harder than cooking, because you need you need to really measure carefully.
Not my favorite part of baking.
And I actually do the measuring for Katie. I think people might think, well, then she's not really doing it. And I'm like, okay, well, would we rather have her sitting at home watching TV? No. But she did teach, well, not really teach. One of the things that Katie did after she exited high school was she took 2 or 3 or 4 classes here. They call it a visitor permit, I think. It's a really cool thing where you can, it's like auditing a class, except you're not on the rolls as having audited the class. You pay you get the instructor permission, and then you pay a fee, which isn't very much, and you get to just sit in on the class and get as much or as little out of it as you want to. And so Katie did a swing dancing class, and she did a couple Pilates classes, that kind of thing. And what made me think of this was in one of her Pilates type classes, there was a day where she had to lead the class, and she loved it.
Okay, so it is something that might appeal to her.
Yeah.
That's cool.
She could also totally teach how to make cold brew coffee class.
Okay, yeah. So along those lines, I'm wondering if, since self-serve coffee might run into sort of cross-contamination between people, I wonder if selling the cold brew at the library would be a good idea. Still on the honor system,
Right.
But it might
Not everybody touching the same stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one would hope.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering if you could tell us more about Katie's interests. Like you said that she likes the library, she likes coffee, but just to think of other partnerships that we could think of other interests that she has.
She loves going out to eat. I think of her favorite places to go in town. She likes going grocery shopping. Our family goes to church, and she likes going to church. I know that some churches have a little coffee shop, within. I think with COVID, probably that's not. We don't have one at our church. I don't know if that kind of thing is really happening at other churches with COVID going on.
If it's not, though, that almost provides an opportunity. So if you could sell sort of pre-packaged sort of, so Aramark here is our dining services. Instead of doing sort of buffet style, now they're doing pre-packaged. There's a cookie inside, there's a sandwich, there's sides and stuff. So if you had the solution to the problem of food being missing at church where you're doing fellowship.
Yeah.
So coming in with a solution like that, it might still work.
Yeah. It's kind of hard when people ask me what Katie likes to do, because she's pretty happy doing just about anything if the people around her, if she likes the people around her. She's a pretty good sport about doing. Now, she does not want to go clothes shopping or furniture shopping. That's but she's really pretty receptive to just about anything if the people around her if she knows that they like her, basically.
Anyone else have ideas or half-baked ideas? I'd go for half-baked ideas right now.
Have you thought about any sort of fundraising or coming up with anything like that so far?
So where we would be providing something for somebody wanting to
Supplying,
do
yeah.
fundraising.
Yes, like
That never occurred to me.
Okay. And then here, I just kind of like just a half-baked idea. I don't know. Just from like perspective, like where if someone doesn't always want like a freshly baked batch of muffins or cookies or anything, would there be like any way? I don't know the logistics of it, but you do like a cookie dough or like you know those little Caesar pizza box kits or like a HelloFresh type of deal where you could have those packaged so people can store them and make them at a separate time.
And they make it themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that could be something too you could look into.
Yeah.
Another thing that sparked this idea, another thing that's popular during like Halloween and Christmas and Valentine's Day are where you have the cookies and then the stuff that you decorate
Yes.
with and providing that in a package. And I know there are a few ladies in Midland that do it, and one of them is getting very expensive.
Okay.
So that's another thing. So kind of these pre-made kits where you do it at home, or kind of halfway done kits.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also like different events that are in Midland, because I'm not really from the area, but last year how we talked about Eat Great, like different food festivals and stuff like that, maybe pitching up a tent there, or the LPGA tour event that's held in Midland, maybe doing a whole sponsorship or something. That's a little bit bigger, but something along those lines, or getting a booth there or something as well.
We have a tennis tournament in Midland in
Okay.
like February, and it's a pretty big deal. And
So is that just like in the concession area there then?
they do have a concession area. I have contacted them once or twice, and it just hasn't gone anywhere. Even
Gotcha.
though the person I'm contacting is someone I know, I'm just not quite getting any traction with
Gotcha.
that.
Okay.
But I like the idea of events because at events there are people, and
Yeah.
that would be fun for Katie.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
would be
Because she seems like a really
yeah.
people person.
Yeah.
Be able to,
Yeah. I don't want to cut you off if there was.
no,
any-
I think that was well.
So on your screen you have the monthly Muffin Club. How well is that?
So
going?
this is the Katie's Kitchen, which I don't have time to pay any attention to. I'm sorry to say, and I kind of need somebody to just take that over for me, because I set this up before I owned Peel and Pear, and I just don't have time
Yeah.
to stay on top of that. I said to Hillary, I wish, I wasn't sure if it made sense for me to come and talk to you all, because I don't have a vision. Like, okay, here's my product. I'm 100% sure this is the product that we want to go with, and I just need help marketing it. I don't have that. I'm not a very good vision person. But I guess what keeps me going is, like I said earlier, I really want Katie employed. I really want her days to be productive. And when go ahead, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this website the only way or the main way to that orders get brought in for cookies?
Actually, most people just call me
Just
or
call
email
you?
or
Okay.
email me. Yeah.
All right. So, and then, do you have any estimate that you could give, like how many orders a week or a month that are really being made, like right now, just off the top of your head? I know it's kind of a question,
It's really more like, so we do the stuff for Live Oak every week.
Yeah. Yep.
Special orders, if we had one per month, that would be great.
Gotcha. Okay. So basically, right now you're just working with your partnerships.
Yeah.
And, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where that's.
Yeah, I think it would be a good thing to talk about your goals and sort of how much volume are you looking to get at.
And I don't think I know the answer to that. For me, what I have to do, again, because I'm not good at having a vision, I kind of just have to take the next step. So The next step after school was to start doing some baking and get, just talking to friends about, hey, we're baking. We can bring you muffins for your meeting. And then the next step after that was, okay, now we need a commercial kitchen. And then the next step after that was, now I'm the owner of Peel and Care. And so I'm just, I wish I had a vision, but that's not how my brain works, except that I know what Katie likes and what she doesn't like. I know, I feel like I'm kind of what I bring is I'm pretty good at structuring tasks so that Katie can do them, figuring out, how do we set this up so that Katie can do it independently and be successful. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty good at that. So I know what Katie likes. I know what I'm kind of bring to the equation. And I just kind of do the next thing that's presented to me and see where that goes.
I'll ask, sorry, and then I'll get to you. I guess more what I'm asking is, how much more work do you want to do? So if getting stuff to Live Oak and doing one special order in the time period that you have, how much more could you handle? And I know you had said that what you're doing right now isn't enough to fill Katie's day, so you're looking to fill those a little bit more. But also, you've got your days that are full.
Right.
So our goals should be trying to find things that Katie can do a little bit more independently with just some guidance, or are we looking like kind of, you getting what I'm asking?
Yeah, and I think, if I were in the position where we have so much that we can do that I need to hire a person, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Now, whether,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to find that person, especially, in today's labor
it
market.
could be
but
if somebody in this class had the idea and the vision, it might be one of you. Could be.
Sure,
So,
absolutely.
okay, Caitlin.
So I looked at your website and I saw that you made muffins, cookies with cold brew. Then you also mentioned scones. Are there any other products that you guys make?
No, we've been asked to do cakes a couple of times.
Cakes are a lot.
It's just not, so it needs to be something that Katie likes. It also needs to be something that I'm just not interested in doing anything fancy. Yeah, so it's really just the muffins, scones, cookies, coffee. Yes.
Have you ever put any baskets together? Like muffin or cookie baskets? Did those sell good if you did?
We haven't.
Okay.
It's, we have delivered, a dozen, 2 dozen, something for a meeting or something, but there was never anything sort of special about the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be a good thing that Katie might like designing it. I always think it's fun to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of bounce off the basket idea. I've actually worked in a kitchen store that has a full coffee bar, beans, browns, all that, about 5 years.
Okay.
And we do gift baskets insane amounts of gift baskets. And my boss's granddaughter is also running a bakery, having our upstairs right now in our business, that private. So I kind of have a bit of experience with this kind of
So
thing.
where is this?
It's about an hour and a half north here in Talbot.
Oh,
we're built
okay. Is
around
it
the
called, what's it called? Yeah, I've been there.
Yep.
I've been
I
there.
worked there about 5 years.
Okay.
For the point of the gift baskets, though, that's a big service we do. Sometimes people come in and give us just a price point that they idea. Other times we'll make them pre-made. And honestly, the pre-made ones, snack-wise, we do a lot with that.
Okay.
So that's actually a really good idea.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. That sounds like something I need to look
It
into.
sounds like maybe one of the teams. Is that something you would be interested in working on?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kenzie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're not married to the idea right now, but I'm starting to try to think about directions that we could take these.
Yes. Ooh. Hold on. I'm gonna go back behind you, Maddie, to your Tyler, right?
Just a random question that's on my head. Do you have a sign like outside of Peel and Dare that signifies like Katie's Kitchen is in there too?
No, but that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think
I
that'd be
love that.
awesome if that was.
I love that.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, Maddie. Sorry. Go
I
ahead.
think it kind of bounce off of that gift basket idea, especially around like holidays and stuff. I know like I used to work at a winery and we did a bunch of gift baskets and a lot of them sold during like the holidays. We try to fit them to like the holiday theme and something like that. And people really, really like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think when you can solve that gift giving problem for somebody, it's,
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like
That's
that's
a good thing.
consistent with Peel on Her, because people go in
Yes,
there to
yes.
find sort of the strange, unusual sort
Right.
of gifty thing.
right.
Caitlin.
I was wondering, have you ever donated your baked goods for a fundraiser? Like for an auction or something?
Oh.
Actually, I think we've done that once or twice. It's been a while, and I can't even remember what the organization was. But that's a great idea. I think the organization was not super well known, and maybe what we want to target was something that where there'd be a lot of visibility. Yeah, great idea.
You could get into contact with the
I'm sorry.
you could get into contact with the Home Builders Association of Finland. They just did a silent auction
Yes.
last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They do stuff like that.
Is it Claire?
This is kind of like pre-COVID, like, but have you ever gone to like a baking show or a craft show that's offered in areas? Because a lot of, I've seen a lot of businesses go there and specifically with baked goods, they get a lot of traction because people are hungry throughout these shows. And that's a really good way to.
Yeah. We have not done that. I think that would be worth looking into.
I don't know how many shows are in person right now, but I know there's kind of some that have started doing like an online version to at least
Oh.
get the name. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so some of these ideas are kind of falling into one or the other of these different 4 Ps. And my goal is for each team to come up with a full marketing mix, so all 4 of the Ps. But it sounds like some of you are starting with one of the Ps and then would work your way out that way. So we've got here the gift basket sort of idea. And then we have, I'm calling this actually place, partnerships, and events. And so far I've heard, let's see. So kind of targeting special needs organizations, if we have any. Cup and Chaucer. Oops, there should be a name there. Which is the library. Churches, yes. This is also sort of like, the pre-made idea. Class. It would be this, I guess. Some sort of cooking or baking or how to make cold brew class. I really, really like that idea. We've got miscellaneous events, I think. So this would be things like LPGA, tennis tournament, Eat Great, finding some sort of partnership in there. Adding things like a sign, which I would not make a group.
out of, make a sign, but that's a good idea too. Yeah.
So are you like wanting to stay around the local area? Because I'm from like the Port Austin Bad Axe area, and Port Austin they always do like this fruit market towards like this season, like it's on like the weekends and stuff, and like it's basically like people selling their own products and stuff, and like a ton of people go to that. Have you ever like considered like venturing? How far are you willing to like?
I haven't really thought about that, but I'm not opposed to that at all.
Because I know, like, especially during, like, the summer months when we put that on, like, a whole bunch of tourists and stuff come up into that area.
Right.
And they always go to, like, that farmer's market. Like, it's super busy.
Okay.
Okay.
And then there's also like the beach festival in Romeo.
Uh-huh.
Cynthia?
Do you guys have a specific, like, coming from like a graphic design perspective, do you guys have like a specific logo or?
Yes.
Do have a logo. My one of my stepdaughters knows how to, like, she knows how to do that. It's amazing to me. So we have a Katie's Kitchen logo, and then we have a Katie's Cold Brew logo. I think I may have
Yeah,
sent
you
those
just send them to me.
you.
I'll make sure they get them. And if you go to their website, they are there. Sounds like we could also use an update to the website. Yeah.
Do you have like social media pages at all? Facebook?
You know, we
Instagram?
had, there was a Katie's Kitchen Facebook, and I took it, that page, and I took it down because I just couldn't, I was not staying current with it. I really need somebody to, I would love to find somebody.
So I
to
think
do
that,
for me.
so these are one, a little bit outside of the scope of the class, but I'm interested in ideas for them, but also they need ongoing help with these. And I don't usually encourage my students to do this kind of thing for free, but if what you're looking for is something to add to your resume, you can, if you're not going to get paid, don't treat it as your full-time job and don't spend that much time at it, but this is something you could do. Yeah.
I'm actually in a social media class, so I can give you a professor that you might be able to work with next semester.
Right.
You
So
can
he
do the
teaches
social
that
media for your
in the fall semester, so you could
it's only in
get
fall?
signed up. Yeah, it's only fall,
Oh.
as far as I know. But yeah, you could become one of his clients for that class. But I think you probably want more help sooner, too.
I was going to say advertising strategies. There's a huge project on that too, and I
Okay.
think that's fall and winter.
Because I know we're working with a bunch of small businesses individually.
Yeah, and that's what advertising strategies is.
Yeah. Very, very good. Other ideas? I want more options, unless you already have ideas that you want to work on. Yeah.
We could call it like a rebrand, introduce like the gift bag or like the pre-made,
Call it the what?
like have a rebrand, so promote that like on the website and stuff.
Oh, okay. So like a kind of like a grand opening again sort of thing. Yeah. I'm gonna call it like a relaunch or rebrand. Like we're not changing the branding, but we're reintroducing it. Okay, yeah, for sure. Other ideas? How many of you have something I'll get you. How many of you have something up here that you're already interested in doing? Okay, some of you. If you don't have something up here, what would you be interested in adding? Yeah.
I feel like I would want to do something along the lines of there was the tennis day fundraiser you guys had. I think I read one time that individuals with special needs would really like horses. So what about the fundraiser at like a public stable? Would that be something for you to be interested in?
Katie loves horses.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, right there.
Okay. What about partnering up with some sort of Special Olympics? I don't know. Huh? Okay. Okay, see more hands? Elliot, what do you got? Ideas? Yeah, you're Elliot. You're right. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, that's your name. Any ideas? Is there something up here you're interested in? Book club. So targeting book clubs. So as the food. So that would go. Yes, that's so target market. Okay, so book club. What were some other ideas of churches was here too? Young adults.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
So you do coffee. Do you do hot chocolate too for people who might not be drinking caffeine yet?
We do sell hot chocolate to go at Peel and Peer.
Okay.
Katie hasn't really been involved with that, not for any reason really, just, her involvement is like to make the cold brew and sometimes bottle it, or to make the hot coffee that's, it sits in an air pot and then we sell it, so.
Okay.
That might be a fun prepackaged thing to do. Like if we made our own hot chocolate mix, if Katie could put those together, I bet she would enjoy that.
Yeah. I think that'd be a nice thing to put in the basket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel.
I know what schools or colleges are around that area, but could you not look to target colleges and schools, maybe do a deal for your student ID with you, something like that?
Okay. So
deal with colleges.
deals.
Students.
Yeah. Maddie.
So kind of going off with the hot chocolate. So what about the summertime? We thought about doing lemonades. That's something that could be easy for and then
Or
the
kombucha.
fall-time, hot cider or anything like that. And then if you decided to, I don't know how easy donuts are to make, but they're you do donuts, right?
We don't do donuts. If there's such a thing as, you can actually bake donuts, and I don't think that I want to get into deep frying, but there is such a thing as baking donuts, and you could do that. There's
What about? Sorry. Go ahead.
You could do that.
I'm just overflowing with ideas. What about kombucha? I know that Live Oak does it, and it's supposedly very easy to do.
I don't know if I've ever tried kombucha.
It's very trendy.
I know.
And
I actually am. Go ahead.
Doesn't kombucha contain alcohol?
You can make alcohol.
Oh, you can make alcohol.
yeah, technically it is fermented,
Yeah.
so it contains very, very small amounts, but not enough to.
I just
Yeah.
don't know if you need an alcohol license to make
I
kombucha.
don't believe so. No. Maddie, did you have your hand up again?
No, I don't think so.
Anna, I know you did.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, building off the classes, something you could offer is private classes. So even offering it to birthday parties of people or something like that. I also kind of thought maybe I know this is a lot, but having some sort of maybe special needs class for them to come bake, or an after school, maybe once a week program or something involving. I feel like you can involve me in the community or the school.
Okay. And, sorry, I have to look at your name. Emma.
I don't know if you've ever heard of Crumble Cookie, but I know they're really known for doing flavors of the week, and maybe you could just expand on the menu a little bit, maybe offer one new flavor of a muffin each week.
Okay.
Crumble cookie, did you say?
Yeah.
Another thing is adding to your menus things that are keto friendly or low carb friendly, also very trendy. So things like maybe fat bombs. which I guess are pretty easy to make and sound really gross, but they're high-fat content treats. Yeah.
So something to go like, because you said the bombs, and then I thought of the hot chocolate, like especially.
Oh yeah, the hot chocolate bombs.
Hot chocolate bombs. Those
Yes.
are super easy to make, and people like love those. I know my brother, he accidentally ate one of my mom's hot chocolate bombs, not knowing it was one. But like, it.
Yeah.
Something like, especially like this time of year down the holidays, like people love those.
And you could, like, make art.
You could decorate like the outside.
Yeah. Nate, did you have anything?
One of my friends from high school, her sister just opened a charcuterie business in Saginaw, and I know they've been becoming like very popular. I've been like looking for that, see like what they did.
I have no idea how to spell charcuterie.
My
Charcuterie.
mom is she works at Calgary. She's not a on it, and she had an event at our house recently, and we used the charcuterie boards at the house. So my parents were thinking like maybe like we could implement that at the hospital, like the charcuterie business. So I didn't know if there was a connection with that you could have like in the hospitals in Midland or something like that.
Hospitals, yeah.
To do that. And I just had a big thing on Instagram where you look at if you follow them and then like share it to your story, you get like you're entered in you get to win like gift cards and stuff. So there's a possibility to do it now. It's great to get away thing where you get like your name out there more with the people putting it on their social media.
Like a once a month thing. It's not to be anything big.
Okay, so this alert, this is a planned alert, it's not real, but it's a good idea to check where we should be in the event of an emergency. I'm pretty sure this is a safe room. Let me. I didn't check before I put it in. I'll have to see if this is one of the shelter rooms. If not this room, going around the hallway into that interior hallway is probably a pretty safe place. But as a reminder today, check one of those things. It'll tell you where to shelter. This type of warning, you stay in the building, you don't go outside because it's severe weather. So we acknowledge our warning. Okay, I would like to start splitting up teams now. So let's find some themes, maybe combine some of this stuff, and know that if you pick a thing that is centered around pre-made or gift baskets, you're not just going to tell me how to create a gift basket. You're going to tell me how to promote a gift basket, who you would promote it to, and so on and so forth. We're just sort of starting with a seed of an idea here, and that will be the focus of what you work on, and it'll get bigger and better from there. So let's, I kind of want you to talk amongst yourselves a little bit, and I think maybe Sarah and I will go on a quick tour of the CCB building. I want you to kind of figure out where your interests lie and who you would like to work with. The teams can be no bigger than 5 people per team. And then when I come back, I want you to propose to me what your team would like to work on. Yes?
What if more than 5 people want to be it? Like one idea.
Then I should be able to sort of guide like the focus, and I would just split the team, and you would both work sort of on the same idea, but you would choose different focuses. Yeah, that would be fine. Maddie? That was it? Okay. All right. So we're going to go. You guys discuss and be ready to present to me what you would like to work on. We have plenty of time to do that. So we could actually even get started today, or if you are very good and have very good ideas when I come back, I will just let you go. All right? All right. I will leave you to discuss amongst yourselves, and I will be back in about probably less than 15 minutes, but that's my goal. If you need to take a break and go to the bathroom, that's also fine. I'll leave my marker here in case you guys want to think with markers.
that's your bag, right?
Yes.
You want to leave that or you want to come back here?
Yes.
He sits right here.
Yeah. So I kind of was thinking, just because work with this, more so focusing on like if she get into different fundraising aspects, especially with the school districts around there.
Yeah.
I know, especially for the sports teams like that, they did so much fundraising just from the marketing class alone, because they were able to implement that because they're broken into the actual like structure of the class.
Yeah.
All sports like football been a really big thing with it. Basketball, baseball, everyone was using this as the fundraiser. So if we get in there, what were you kind of thinking about doing?
Really, it's kind of like given that, like she said, she don't really got like a goal. It's kind of hard to just think about exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Exactly, but I was thinking more so like the fundraiser would be nice, especially that, and if she wants to expand.
Yes.
I think that's where it would be
Yeah,
nice.
I think we can tie that in. So expand, you mean like with different partnerships?
Yeah, partnership
I mean, I think you call that partnership with the school district.
Yeah, partnership with NAM. That someday is crazy that maybe that can lead up to having multiple locations or something.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. Then we have to figure out, you think, the logistics of how she would get the products to, no, for like the different partnerships, some people if she were to expand. Like, so we're going to have to figure out how she's going to get from Keel and Pear to Midnight High.
No, that's not very low. I was going to Detroit, but I'm from
Okay, alright. I live just south of Detroit. I'm from Wyandotte. But I mean,
so she owns it in the field, but it's like, but she has like a certain section of Katie's kitchen in the store.
yeah, so that's what I was talking about. So I mean, her website's
Because you can't even. I'm about to say you can't even tell from the pink, like what you were just on with Pink and Pale, whatever. You can't even tell that's him.
No, that's what I was saying. That's why that was the question.
Because people not going to know that's what you really got inside the store unless they go in the store. That's bold. And she said people don't be used online to order.
I know, they just call in. I don't know what that is.
No, for real. Yeah. I mean, that definitely could be updated. But I feel like if we was to do everything, like majority stuff on here, that's when the website can get updated. We would have like photos of everything on there. Yeah, it would definitely be over for sure. Blueberry muffins? I don't like blueberry muffins. That's one of the muffins I would eat is blueberry muffins. Yeah, I do chocolate chip every once in a while.
Yeah, I can't do like a double chocolate.
No, I don't like chocolate that much. I don't like walnut. But blueberry, pumpkin chocolate chip, nah, I don't like pumpkin.
Really?
No.
I feel like it had to be like a
yeah, I was gonna say because at the same time I can't do that. I can't do that.
Especially with sugar on top.
Yeah. No, this definitely can be updated for sure. That's not bad. Delivery is free. Delivery is free. That's not bad. And then you can order. I'm pretty sure when you order muffins, you're not ordering them all for yourself, honestly. Unless you just love muffins that much, but don't nobody love muffins that much.
I feel like her business strategy is like people are ordering them to actually have them themselves, ordering them for get-togethers.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like fundraising
Yeah.
and partnerships is exactly
Yeah,
what
fundraising would be perfect because I feel that would actually get her brand out when it comes to everything.
the place I had, they have a website.
Right, and she like, if she ever, she would I know someone else that like they definitely
Oh yeah, like yeah, see, that's where she her was messed up with her. She don't got no social media.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's why when she came back, I'm like, I had no idea what this is.
So if she could have
If she had a social media, then it'd be different. Like, see, that's what I mean by like stuff like having websites and
especially when she starts getting more
yeah, like videos and all that,
Yeah.
pictures and all that. Yeah.
keep everything up current today.
Yeah, she's an elder woman, so that, I see why though. She was like just like mid-30s or 30s or something. She probably been on social media.
Yeah, so this is like a sample.
For people, for them to order for school. And then if students, if they bound for the schools, the students bound like, so they do the
So
school.
just be like fundraising. I think just like an example fundraising.
Because I remember when we used to do in high school, our school used to order bagels, and like every Friday they'd sell bagels for students.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we used to do in high school.
So what high school did you go to? Dakota?
No, I started at Dakota. I went there for like a year and a half. I transferred to Utica. And that's what we used to do every Friday. I think Dakota did it too as well. And then every Friday they have people come around the classroom and sell bagels for students. They gonna bagel. Cinnamon bagels. Like $1, I think $1.50 for the cream cheese.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it should be something like this. I don't know. For like a sample fundraising, like for if they were to school.
or you can like
It's a tough one. It's not to be too tough, but it's kind of be a tough topic. But I feel if we picked it, it'd probably be easier. But she just, like I said, she's like an elderly woman, so she doesn't know too much. Like she even said she don't know about the marketing.
So I'm just working on a story.
That doesn't, but that looks, I ain't gonna lie, that's in there.
So it would be nice if you can. I know it's very nice and glad to actually have something to do whatever.
Yeah.
But is this like the biggest issue or is this a different?
No, I don't think so.
and everyone's like,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
What is this? She has a barbecue?
yeah, they sell.
Oh, they do. No, they do this. They say stones, I think.
Yeah, you went there. Well, I think they asked me to do stones, but I don't know if they sell cookies or anything else in there.
Yeah, she said like scones or something, I believe. That's what I believe she said. I'm not 100. Yeah.
Okay, so they do have. Okay, that's
Oh, all right.
so that was my thing. So we never used to have Katie's Kitchen tab.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool.
Is that with everything or just that?
I think it was just that.
You try muffins. Nope.
I know, like, there's a lot of people here. I mean, not that it's not
They good.
well, for sure.
Some of those does look amazing. I want a cinnamon roll now. I have to go to Cinnamon Bar. Man,
There's somebody there.
that shit looks amazing right now. I'm starving now.
I did too.
Right now, I ate with a whole bar and a bowl of cereal.
I think I had a thing of cashew.
Yeah, see. I was about to open that up, and I was like, no, I'll save this for later. Yeah, I think that'd be good because that would get. I honestly think that would get her brand out more.
And also with social media.
Yeah, I'm literally in a social media class right now. So, literally. I like the way I like the professor that she said I wouldn't recommend doing it unless she's getting paid for it.
Yeah, which is fine because I mean it's a lot of like work and it's not working.
No, it's not. But it is.
I mean, unless you want to on your resume.
Yeah, because I'm doing one right now about, it's a group project I got on social media. We doing one on some, like, it's called Pendleton Pins. It's like a dog resort in Indiana.
It's like when they just send their pets away, like when they're on vacation.
Yeah, bro. But like, I ain't gonna lie, like, looking at it though, it's like, now they think was terrible. Like, they wasn't worse. They might not been like worse than her because she's local though.
Yeah.
So that's probably local down there as well. But the same, like at least they got social media. The one you working on, they got social media. But it was like, ain't nobody gonna know about this because like I didn't know anything about it at all.
No, literally, I didn't even look it up just because.
Exactly. So it's kind of like tough for.
For me, I started what, 5 years roughly.
This it?
Yeah.
She did say she bought the.
So it was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, she bought Phil Perry. Yeah, Phil Perry. 2017. She said.
So I mean, at least. But then she bought that still the Licensed Kitchen before that. So I imagine she at least had that for a year.
Yeah.
And she did that for Katie's Kitchen. So she's had this idea.
Well, yeah, it could be close to 5.
For 5-6 years, roughly. Just the idea of it.
Yeah.
And she still has no marketing really whatsoever.
No, at all. Because honestly, she can definitely, if that's the case, she can definitely get that brand and come as far as she.
Just remember, bro, like those cookies. I mean, I think I've sold thousands of dollars worth of fucking cookies. Like I swear to God, just me alone.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's like I said. That she is elder, so she's not gonna know too much about it.
Yeah.
Then she literally said she doesn't know too much about it. If she did, I'm telling you, because like people eat bakery or something.
It's a good market.
It's a good market. Sure, you can do always do catering and all that. Oh yeah, I don't know why I mentioned that.
I think it was. She did mention she did like work meetings, like grad parties, golf hours.
All right, yeah. I'm about to be catering for sure.
Yeah, so we'll have to throw that.
People eat that, especially at weddings and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you get into. What she said? So we do like advertising, so local school district fundraising options, like so the pack cookies and muffins, and like honestly, if you can do like free pack like stuff like dry goods where like, people make it themselves. Which is okay. Like a kit. And then if you want to expand.
I think that would work great. I don't know if there's a
We can go. We So,
oh, yeah. Did you want to start on this today, or did you?
I'm just writing out stuff so when she asks.
Because he was saying like if you're good, that you would be good to go. Like, I was trying to see because you said what's his name?
Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy. Yeah, I was about to say it'd be better to like get started with these.
I'm just trying to think of what else we could do. So if you wanted to, fundraising options, I mean, we could also, what else could we get into?
Well, yeah, I'm saying like, do they got like, do they got like, it might be recent, but at the same time, is it like any, like, you know, like Meijer or Walmart or anything?
Yeah, there is. I feel like that's a tougher market to get into.
It definitely is, but it's still popular.
It is. I don't know if they have a load to produce that much for there.
Yeah.
That's the only issue. I mean, if there's like a local deli or something like that.
Yeah, is there any local deli? That's all I'm thinking. Stuff like that. That's you can do an expansion. Because she already talked about how she got to the Live Oak, how they did that.
So there's.
Yeah, and it should all be on there.
Is that the full city?
Looks like they have like Northwood.
Yeah. Besides that, what do they?
by to watch the
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like they're actually right next to
Yeah. Is there other like
Is it local there too?
Let's see, let's look this place up.
Amazing thing.
But they do like
They do.
What the, yeah, what do they say?
Yeah, all this is customized. All of this. They do custom.
That place would be like, they probably have their own.
It looks like it's supposed to be. It looks like it's Tony Young. On the
Yeah.
It sounds good, man. That corned beef sounds. I ain't gonna lie, these sounds look amazing. I see why they call that amazing dish.
But they like have.
I'm about to say, I'm just hungry. I ain't even lying, so it's good. No, I ain't. They can always stand up. So their menu right here. Yep, yeah, that's from the beef. I might have to down the middle and try that. I'm about to say, Billy's not that far from here. Let me see. I'm gonna look up that place.
Okay, then there's also like.
$25 minutes to get from there. I might take that from that looks good. Very nice, man. That looks, see stuff, see? If she had a social media, that's how you attract more people. Like this, their social media alone, I want to try. I'm about to say, off their social media alone, I want to try it now.
And there's also like, even just on the side here, it just has like pages. It shows right here, like.
Yeah, see, I would do the social media. We could if you want to, but like I said, I'm already doing another class. And then like she said, yeah. Even though low key, I feel like that low key might be the easiest thing to do.
Probably. But then some of because everything that she's doing, which I really like, is like it's about Katie and like what she likes.
Yeah, no, that is nice. That is nice. That's why I feel personally. Like she said, she didn't do it, and when somebody asks over here, she should hire more social media. If that's like her target.
I mean, she doesn't even hire them. She just has a program that people come in at least once or twice a week where they can and then they can hire someone that comes in part time.
Because they don't give special needs jobs at all. And I feel like since you, of course, it's a yard, but at the same time, I ain't gonna lie. If that was the case, and she was to hire more special needs, that bird can get out for sure.
Chicago.
I saw that. That's cool. Smart as hell. Economics is not too much different from marketing. You need to know economics and know marketing.
Exactly.
That's exactly why you take all econ classes lead into it. Because you got to know how the economy works and all that. No, I feel like she knows it. She just hasn't gotten to it. To know everything.
And I understand. But she's doing it from like, she knows a lot of other shit she's got to do.
Oh, yeah.
Especially having learned about other businesses. That's kind of a tough market.
No, I do. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like that idea as well. But look, on their website, like it does not say they have.
See, I'm a cut guy. I actually really like Gustav, but yeah, Gustav is crazy. Like that whole market alone. Is this like a Really? Okay.
Okay. What progress have we made? Looks like we are in groups. Looks like you are in groups built geographically. The people near you. Which is fine with me. All right. So, group proposal. Matt, are you with this group or that group?
This group.
That one. Okay. What is your idea?
We were interested in doing the classes.
I love it. I was hoping somebody picked up on that. Awesome. I love the idea. And
So, and then we had Tommy as well.
okay.
So it was like mainly just about like the just like partnerships and advertising, getting into the school districts and that type of fundraising
Okay. I like that.
and the prepackaged stuff.
Okay. And this group? Perfect. Okay. Very cool. So you have some ideas for partnerships and also a product. Excellent. Very cool. And then this giant group is perfectly safe. So you want
How you? Take me career.
I like it. Okay, so the fundraiser, are you raising money for Katie or for the cause to donate somewhere? So what's
That's how I beat. You got so much adrenaline pumping. Yeah, true. Doing the work on it, you don't feel too much. After like, I ain't my toe hurts right now. I ain't feel that all doing
a little bit of a combination of stuff that's going on here. So their idea has a little bit of an idea of working with school
I see you hurt it during
other
spring
special needs students.
I still
Theirs
don't
has
know
an
what
idea
happened
of
behind the
classes.
bone bruise.
How are you going to pay for these students?
They still it never completely healed.
So we started some sort of Katie's foundation or something like that. Katie's cause, yes. So I don't know that it might require her to start another business. Who knows?
Yeah. I'm about to say this thing has healed such you have to spring on April. It still has a full
I
year.
think that it's helped that cause. Because then you don't have to.
Yeah, no, they didn't feel like at one point, there were certain shoes I couldn't wear. So it was swollen. At first, the trainer thought it was broke because he did these little vibration check on it. That's the little one thing. Man, that's a hit. I said, think about it. That hurt it so bad.
Yeah.
Yes, limited liability company. Yeah.
So we wanted that. It was totally separate from Katie's Kitchen.
So the LLC, Katie's Kitchen, is the cold brew and the muffins and that. Peel and Pear, I don't know how they're incorporated. It probably is an LLC also, but it's a separate business that she bought and then built the kitchen in and Katie's Kitchen produced. So it's two separate businesses. Awesome. And we can hash out all the details, right? So it works. You guys.
We're usually doing focusing on the
Football just killed my period. Yeah, exactly. But I had, like, after Saturday game, that's the worst I played in May. Like, my whole body was just sore. Neck. Yeah,
So if you propose a new logo, it needs to knock it out of the park. I'm not opposed to it. But I will cut down, I want to say have veto power over whether or not we propose it to her. What kind of, yeah. But I'm definitely down for it. Yeah. And you're a graphic design person, so you can do the thing.
I sure can.
Awesome. I love the idea of proposing kind of a new design of the website.
Not really.
Yes, yes. And I like that idea. What are you going to be designing it in the website?
I can do the website part, because I've done the website, I think they use Wix.
Probably they did, yeah, so.
Yeah, I work with Wix.
Okay, use whatever you're comfortable with. If something requires money, yeah, there's something you can use that requires money, let me know. I would probably find out. Okay. You are being held up by $100.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna do that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm also interested in doing,
But I know the nation was gonna
and all that stuff.
Yay. Okay,
we're gonna let you.
I love all of your ideas. I am going to let you go early. Woohoo! But I want you, and given what Anna just said, that kind of segued into my thing. Before you go, I also need to actually do this for me. On a piece of paper, tell me who is in your team and what your focus is, and I will build groups for you. So do that while I'm talking. My face is sweaty, and I want to get out of it. I want you to go to Peel and Pear. I don't want us to go as a group. That would be super overwhelming. She wants to get us as a gift, an appreciation, a thank you, sort of like a coupon for a free coffee or something. So she's going to send that to me. So it would be an excuse for you to go in and get a free something. But I want you to go to Peel and Pear. You may or may not meet Katie. She's there kind of inconsistent hours, but if you can, I would love for you to meet her and get a sense of her. But I also think you should get a sense of the store and the type of, not the type of person that would walk in, but what a person walking into Peel and Pear would see. So I want you to go there. I also want you to go to Live Oak. I'm not going to make you buy anything, but you want to. If you haven't been to Live Oak, it's incredible. They have really nice, like, what are they called? They're the bars. Something like Awesome Bars, but it's not that. It's a what? I don't remember what they're called, but they're like a meal replacement bar, and they're delicious and amazing. And also, they do have kombucha, and it's on tap.
What is kombucha?
Kombucha is a fermented drink. I like it because I like bitter sour things. If you don't like bitter sour things, so I like drinking straight grapefruit juice. It doesn't taste like grapefruit juice, but if you like drinking straight grapefruit juice, you will probably like kombucha. It's not a guarantee. Yes. You either like it or you think it's the most disgusting thing you've ever put in your mouth. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll give you like a sample of it before you, which is what I did. Okay. So you're going to tell me who is in your team on a piece of paper. I will take care of that. I'm going to get you some sort of coupon, but I would love if this week before we meet next Tuesday, if you could make it to Midland and check Live Oak out. You guys are knowing what I'm saying when I say Live Oak with my mask on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we know what that is. And Peel and Pear. So Peel and Pear is downtown. Live Oak is in Midtown. There's a difference.
Can you say that one more time?
Midland is tiny. Live Oak and Peel and Pear are probably less than a mile from one another. They are different parts of town. So if you know Ashman, Live Oak is on Ashman, heading to downtown. Yeah, so what I do...
Is it a part of that weird circle thing?
No, that is the circle. And that is also not downtown, which students seem to think. No. So Ashman is the Ashman Circle, but you're going to take Ashman, and what I do when I park downtown is I actually take Ashman all the way to the farmer's market, and I park down there and walk to where I need to go so I don't have to do their stupid, goofy parking, and also the roads are blocked off. So take Ashman all the way to the farmer's market, park there, find Rod, which is the other one way, to leave. Okay? There are other ways to leave town, which you can probably map. But yeah, I am excited for this project. I think you guys have picked things that make sense given what we put up here, which I will also take a picture of this thing. Okay. You are welcome to go. I am quite pleased with your progress.
So ours was the class.
Yes. Yes, perfect. Got it.
Yeah, next class again. We're flying to Minnesota for a game, so I'll just send you.
So Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're working on this on Thursday. So
I just need.
yeah,
with my groups.
Same place.
you okay? I don't remember what I.
We created like a group email. I could just email them.
Okay, yes, that's fine.
Okay, and then I'll send you an email just to remind you.
Yes, that is perfect. Thank you. Thank
Put
you
on
so
my
much. And you've got your notes taken. Perfect.
Alrighty.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being willing to be put on the spot.
Oh,
you did a great job.
I really wasn't ready for it, but didn't want to sound too dumb.
No. And the really cool thing about Sarah is she's already taken notes on some things, and I told her if she goes ahead and implements stuff, she's not going to break anything. Like, she's excited to try some of this stuff.
All right, yeah.
That's my favorite kind of client.
So when she said she taught at Loyola, I mean, I was like, wow, she's very smart, and she is very smart. But there's still like no her social media for both places is just.
She doesn't have any marketing.
But she's like economics, so I feel like it's at least close enough.
So okay, here's the thing.